Welcome back to Radio 1 International. The Mission Impossible franchise has become a cornerstone of modern action cinema, carving out a legacy that spans nearly 30 years. Since its debut in 1996, the series has continually evolved to reflect shifts in Hollywood filmmaking while setting a benchmark for practical effects, high-stakes storytelling, and star-powered charisma. At the center of this cinematic juggernaut is Tom Cruise, whose dedication to the craft of filmmaking has not only redefined the limits of action, but also reasserted the potential for long-form storytelling in a blockbuster landscape increasingly dominated by shared universes and CGI-heavy spectacles. When the original Mission Impossible film hit theaters, it was both a continuation and a reinvention of the 1960s television series of the same name. Directed by Brian De Palma, the first film introduced audiences to Ethan Hunt, a highly skilled agent of the Impossible Mission Force, IMF, portrayed by Cruise. Unlike the ensemble-driven TV show, the film centered largely around Hunt, turning the character into a symbol of relentless determination, resourcefulness, and loyalty. The success of the film not only spawned a sequel, but also marked Cruise's evolution from charismatic leading man to producer and architect of his own franchise. In the early 2000s, Mission Impossible 2, directed by John Woo, leaned into stylized action and romantic drama. Though the film was commercially successful, it received mixed reviews, with critics pointing to its over-the-top action sequences and lack of narrative cohesion. However, it was with Mission Impossible 3, directed by J.J. Abrams in his feature film debut, that the franchise began to shift toward a more emotionally grounded and cohesive narrative. The film explored Ethan Hunt's personal life, introducing his fiancée Julia and emphasizing the emotional stakes behind the action. With Philip Seymour Hoffman delivering a chilling performance as the villain Owen Davian, the third installment set a new tone for the series. The fourth film, Ghost Protocol, was a game-changer. Directed by Brad Bird, it revitalized the franchise with breathtaking action sequences and a renewed sense of energy. It was during this film that Cruise began to push the envelope in terms of stunt work. He famously scaled the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world, performing the stunt himself without a stunt double. This moment became emblematic of the franchise's commitment to authenticity and physicality, separating it from other contemporary action films that relied heavily on green screen and computer-generated imagery. With Rogue Nation and Fallout, directed by Christopher McQuarrie, the franchise hit its creative peak. McQuarrie became the first director to helm multiple entries in the series, bringing with him a cohesive narrative thread that connected the films more tightly than ever before. These films introduced new characters like Ilsa Faust, played by Rebecca Ferguson, and deepened the mythos of the IMF. Fallout, in particular, was hailed by critics and audiences alike for its thrilling action, emotional complexity, and seamless integration of narrative and spectacle. From halo jumps to high-speed motorcycle chases through Paris, the film showcased Cruise at the top of his game, performing stunts that defied age and expectation. The franchise's success is not just due to its spectacle, but also its adaptability. Each film has reflected the prevailing concerns and stylistic trends of its era. Whether it was Cold War paranoia in the first film, bioterrorism in the second, or artificial intelligence and surveillance in the later installments, Mission Impossible has remained culturally relevant. Its storytelling has matured, becoming more character-driven while maintaining the propulsive momentum that fans expect. Moreover, its international appeal, often featuring exotic locations, multilingual dialogue, and a diverse cast, has made it a global phenomenon. Tom Cruise's role in shaping the franchise cannot be overstated. As a producer and lead actor, he has had unprecedented creative control, allowing him to pursue ambitious storytelling and groundbreaking stunts. Cruise's philosophy, often summarized by his commitment to practical over digital, has influenced a generation of filmmakers. His insistence on doing his own stunts is not merely for show. It imbues each scene with a visceral intensity that resonates with audiences. The authenticity of his performances fosters a deeper connection between viewer and character, making the stakes feel real and immediate. Beyond the stunts, Cruise has cultivated a deep respect for cinematic tradition. He has championed theatrical releases, even amid the rise of streaming, insisting that movies be experienced on the biggest screen possible. This conviction became especially apparent during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Cruise delayed the release of Mission: Impossible – Dead Reckoning Part 1 to preserve its theatrical debut. His actions sparked conversations about the future of cinema and the role of stars in an era increasingly defined by franchises and intellectual property. The impact of the Mission: Impossible franchise on Hollywood is multifaceted. It has demonstrated the viability of long-running, actor-led franchises in a market dominated by ensemble superhero films. It has also raised the bar for practical effects, influencing how action sequences are conceived and executed across the industry. Moreover, the franchise has proven that audiences crave narrative continuity and character development even in action-oriented films, paving the way for other series to adopt similar approaches. The release of Mission: Impossible – The Final Reckoning at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival marked a poignant moment in the franchise's history. Receiving a 5-minute standing ovation, the film brought Cruise to tears, underscoring the emotional weight of concluding a saga that has defined his career and thrilled audiences for nearly 3 decades. The film itself continues the story of Ethan Hunt's battle against the rogue AI entity known as the Entity, tying together plot threads from previous installments while delivering the high-octane action that has become the franchise's hallmark. Behind the scenes, the making of The Final Reckoning pushed the limits of what is possible in practical filmmaking. Cruise performed a wing-walking stunt atop a biplane, adding yet another daring feat to his legendary resume. This level of commitment not only showcases Cruise's physical prowess, but also his unwavering belief in the immersive power of cinema. The stunt required months of training and precision coordination, reminding audiences that real danger creates real drama. Throughout its run, Mission: Impossible has evolved from a stylish spy thriller to a deeply personal and emotionally resonant saga. It has explored themes of loyalty, identity, sacrifice, and redemption, all while delivering some of the most memorable set pieces in modern film history. From the iconic vault heist in the first film to the helicopter chase in Fallout, the franchise has consistently found new ways to astonish and engage its audience. Its influence can be seen in other action films that prioritize grounded spectacle over digital spectacle. The Bourne series, Daniel Craig's Bond films, and even Christopher Nolan's Tenet bear the imprint of Mission: Impossible's legacy. These films reflect a growing appreciation for tactile, practical effects, and a willingness to explore complex characters within high-stakes narratives. As Hollywood grapples with technological disruption and evolving audience expectations, Mission: Impossible stands as a reminder of what makes cinema powerful: human effort, emotional authenticity, and the courage to push boundaries. Tom Cruise, now in his 60s, continues to defy expectations, proving that age is no barrier to excellence when passion and discipline are present. Looking ahead, the legacy of the franchise is secure. Whether The Final Reckoning truly marks the end of Ethan Hunt's journey, or merely a transition to new stories within the universe, its impact will be felt for years to come. Film schools will study its choreography and pacing, actors will look to Cruise's commitment as a benchmark, and audiences will remember the thrill of watching someone genuinely hang off the side of a plane for the sake of storytelling. In an era of disposable content and algorithm-driven entertainment, Mission: Impossible has offered something timeless. It has reminded us that cinema, at its best, is about shared experiences, daring dreams, and characters who make us believe that anything is possible. Tom Cruise, through his tireless work and undying passion, has not just entertained us, he's redefined what it means to be a movie star. And that, perhaps, is the franchise's greatest mission accomplished. At the 2025 Cannes Film Festival, Mission: Impossible – The Final Reckoning received a 5-minute standing ovation following its screening at the Grand Theatre Lumiere. Tom Cruise, visibly moved, expressed heartfelt gratitude to fans and collaborators, reflecting on nearly 3 decades of portraying Ethan Hunt. Joined by director Christopher McQuarrie and co-stars Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, and Angela Bassett, Cruise highlighted McQuarrie's significant contributions to the franchise. The film, continuing the narrative from the previous installment, follows Hunt's mission to thwart a rogue AI known as the Entity. The premiere featured a 40-piece orchestra playing the iconic theme, adding to the grandeur of the event. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Radio 1 International.
94.3 Radio 1.